Welcome back into Sports Memos Betting Podcast, NFL Every Game on the Board podcast. This is the last segment for this podcast, also the last segment for the Sports Memo podcast for the week. And we got our new guest here, Minty Betts. Follow her on Twitter at Minty Betts. Minty, welcome in the pod. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Drew?
I'm doing good. Happy Friday. We got a bunch of games to break down here on the back half of the card. And Minty, we could start off here with rotation number 463-464, LA Rams at the Atlanta Falcons. We're seeing -3 here for the Rams, 54.5 being the total. And Minty, I kind of like the Rams here. I mean, Atlanta hasn't shown a lot of life, but they are at home in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You got any interest in betting this game, Rams versus Falcons?
I don't know if I side with either of them. As much as it pains me to say, because I'm a Saints fan, I want the Falcons to win because they've got an amazing group of receivers. They've got Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, Calvin Ridley. They've also got Austin Hooper and Devonta Freeman, Matt Ryan. I'm sorry, I'm getting him confused.
Yeah.
Kicker, Matt Bryant. Matt Ryan is, I think, before this last Thursday night game, is like first in touchdown passes and first in passing yards. He's throwing at 72%. And they just have a great team, and they just can't click. And they're playing at home, and I want them to click so bad. So I'm leaning Falcons, but I would rather take the total at over 54.5. I think both these teams can score really well.
Yeah, no, I lean with you there on the over. I mean, it's a controlled climate there in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The fact that the Rams might get their best player back in Gurley, so they should be able to move the ball. And the Atlanta, to add on what you were saying, all of which I agree with, they've had trouble kind of putting pressure on the opposing quarterback. And we've seen all year long, Jared Goff, he can, we've seen it in years past, he can pass the ball downfield with efficiency. But at the same time, when he's under pressure, he's not the same quarterback. I don't think Atlanta's going to be able to put that much pressure on him, Minty. So I'm with you. I like a lot of points.
Yeah, same. Yeah, he is, I think, the only quarterback right now with more than 5 picks and 5 fumbles. He's just not really the same this season. So I don't know if they'll pick it back up. I don't really expect much from them, but I'm hoping it goes over.
Nice stat there with the only quarterback over 5 fumbles and 5 interceptions. The former Golden Bear there on the first game with Minty Betts. We got San Francisco at Washington up next, Minty. 465, 466, the rotation numbers here. We're seeing -9.5. There is a -10 there at Pinnacle. So laying doubles on the NFL, always a little bit tricky here. Redskins at home, we're seeing a total of 40.5. What are you thinking here, 49ers and Redskins?
I love this game, and I think I might take it. The Niners have one of the best defenses. They're going up against one of the worst offenses, the Redskins. I did see that line. I got it at 9.5, the Niners -9.5, and then it moved to 10, and now it's back at 9.5. But like you said, double digits is always kind of tricky with NFL, but I don't think that's too much for the Niners. They won 4 out of their last 5 games by more than 13 points. The Redskins, 4 out of their last 6 games, they've lost by more than 10 points. So I don't think it's too crazy to lay the 9.5 here with the 49ers. The Redskins, they just fired their head coach. They lack a good quarterback, and their offense is just bad. So I like the Niners in this a lot.
All right, laying it with the favorite, the Niners, to roll over Washington. Next game up, we got 467, 468. LA Chargers, not to be confused with the San Diego Chargers, Minty. Tennessee Titans at home, -2.5, quarterback change, I believe. 41 being the total. Got a West Coast team traveling towards the east here, but -2.5 for Tennessee. You got any interest in this one?
No, this is kind of tough because I loved both teams last year. I think the Titans went 3 seasons, 9-7. The Chargers last year were 12-4. They were Super Bowl contenders, and I don't understand what happened. So far, betting against the Chargers has been pretty profitable. They are 1-4 straight up and against the spread. Statistically, they're better on the road. They're 8-2 straight up and ATS their last 10 road games. I would lean the under because I think both teams have hit the under their last 5 straight games. I don't really lean aside maybe the Titans because of their quarterback change, but I'm really not liking this game.
Okay, so leaning towards the under. We are seeing a low total here. Market telling us not a lot of scoring with the total of 41. But good stat there with both teams trending towards the under of recent. We got Baltimore at Seattle up next, 469, 470 here. 49 being the total, seeing some 48.5s out there. -3 pretty much across the board, some juice on that with the Seahawks being at home. We got an East Coast team traveling west here, Minty. What are you thinking Baltimore at Seattle?
This one's also tough because all but one of Seattle's games have been determined by 1 to 4 points, which tells me that Seattle's not consistent enough to get ahead and stay ahead by more than a touchdown. I love both teams. I respect both quarterbacks and head coaches. Their offenses are the real reason both these teams have won as many games as they have. Which is why I expect the over to hit. Now, I saw it at 50 a couple days ago, so I'm glad it went down because I didn't take it at 50. And you said it was at 48.5. I would feel comfortable with taking the over at 48.5. I do think that Seahawks are going to win this game, but I don't trust them to cover that 3.5 point spread. So maybe I would take Ravens with a spread. Hopefully it moves to 4 maybe. But I think the Seahawks will get it done.
All right. And with the total moving down, 48.5, it seems to be the prevalent number out there. So if you're liking the over there, now might be the time to bite with the move down. Baltimore's offense, like Minty was talking about, number 1, number 2 in some categories in terms of total and scoring offense. So looking towards the over, Baltimore versus Seattle. Minty, I think you're going to like this next game.
I love this next game.
Nice. New Orleans Saints. Chicago Bears here in Soldier Field, -4, -3.5 as well, depending which team you're looking to bet. And a low total here, Minty, just 37. What are you thinking with your Saints versus the Bears?
Saints. Well, I was going to take the Saints money line, but it was just I just read that Alvin Kamara is out and Jared Cook is out, so that could change things a little. I don't doubt they'll win, but it's kind of hard because the Bears had a bye week. So they had a week to rest up and especially think it over about that game that they lost against the Raiders in London. The Bears defense, though, before this London game, the Bears defense was only allowing 11 points per game. Their offense is statistically one of the worst in terms of yards per game, passing yards per game, and points per game, ranking 27th to 30th in each of these categories. They've got a couple injuries, which might or might not be an issue. I think, honestly, the edge goes to the Saints because their offense is explosive. Their defense is strong. They're 4-2 ATS and 1-5 straight up. And they don't care whether they're playing at home, on the road, with Breeze or without Breeze. They have been winning consistently, and I'm hoping that they keep winning. So I took the Bears the Saints at +3.5. So
the Bears. Okay, so liking the Saints there. I like it, Minty. Following your team there. And guys, we're talking with Minty Bets on Twitter at Minty Bets. And you can also use the coupon code here for this podcast at sportsmemo.com using the coupon code Minty, that's MINTY, at checkout for $15 off any play on the board. You can use it unlimited uses on any handicapper, any play. That's 5%, 4%, 3%, any sport on sportsmemo.com for $15 off. Use the coupon code Minty at checkout. That's MINTY. Minty, just a couple games left here. Philadelphia at Dallas, NFC East matchup. This is a big one, Sunday nighter. A lot of tickets written on this one. 49.5 being the total, just under a 3. It was 3 Dallas Cowboys. Now we're seeing -2.5 in Jerry's world. Any interest in Philadelphia at Dallas?
I do not have any interest in this game. It's surprising that both these teams are tied for the NFC East, going 3-3. The Cowboys are 6-4 against the spread their last 10 meetups with the Eagles. The Eagles' defense was poor against the Vikings last week. They gave up 325 passing yards and 4 touchdown throws. They're missing a lot of players in their secondary, though, so that might be why. Dallas's offense has been performing poorly. They lost 3 straight. So I don't know. Honestly, I'm leaning the Eagles just because I think Carson Wentz is a better quarterback and Doug Peterson is a better coach than Jason Garrett. So my lean is for the Eagles, but I don't have anything officially.
Okay, so leaning towards the Eagles there. Good points there, Minty. And we got the Monday Nighter. We can just look ahead. Any quick thoughts here? New England at the New York Jets. We will be able to talk about this on Monday's pod with Teddy Covers. But throwing out there another doubles on the road here with New England. But Tom Brady's been good against the spread, Minty. 44 the total. Any quick thoughts here on the Patriots and Jets Monday Nighter?
I love the Jets, and I love them because they beat the Cowboys. Like, I am female Stephen A. Smith when it comes to the Cowboys. So I love the Jets. I think they'll cover. I have 10 here, and I saw it move from 9.5 to 10. I think it's at 10 right now. I got the Jets at 10. And I know, like in my heart, I know that they'll get blown out by New England's defense because their defense is only allowing like 8 points per game. But I don't know. In Sam Darnold, I trust. And this one, I don't recommend. I'm betting with my heart with this one because I really like the Jets. I don't have anything solid for this one, but I am excited for this game because I am excited for the Jets.
All right.
Last week was the first win for Adam Gase, and that's pretty exciting. So they might just be on a high and just ride this one out.
Yeah, I mean, I think so as well. I mean, them being at home, Monday Nighter, plus the 10 points. And I do think closer to kickoff, the Patriots, it's Tom Brady. They've made some money. They'll take some money in the marketplace. So Jets plus the 10. We might even be able to get more there, Minty, in terms of maybe a plus 10 in the hook. Who knows? But Minty, I gotta let you know. We were just talking with Rob Vino before, and Rob Vino's been with Sports Memo for 21 years. Mm-hmm. And this podcast was a radio show. It's gone back that far. You're a trailblazer. I believe you are the first female on the podcast. So
oh my goodness, yay, that's super exciting. Well, thanks for having me as possibly the first female on the podcast. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, you are the first female, so a trailblazer making moves in the world of sports betting. She is Minty Bets. Follow her on Twitter at Minty Bets, giving out great information there on Twitter. Also on Instagram. Minty, anywhere else the listeners can find you?
Other than the WagerTalk Instagram, the WagerTalk Snapchat, and my personal Twitter, Minty Bets, that's all you can find me at. And anywhere in Vegas, I got ran into at IKEA, at Red Rock. So if you ever see me out in person, feel free to say hi, other than online.
All right. Yeah. Nice person, Minty Bets. And feel free to say hello to Minty. If you are in Las Vegas, reach out to her on Twitter. And Minty, great job breaking down the games. Yeah, some really good stats there. Some stats I definitely didn't know. So pointing the listeners in the right direction. Minty, anything else you want to throw out there before we shut this down?
That's it. Thanks for watching, guys.
All right. Great stuff, Minty. And guys, remember the coupon code Minty at checkout. Any play on the board in unlimited use, $15 off at sportsmemo.com. That coupon code is Minty at checkout. Minty, thank you for the time. Guys out there, thank you for listening in. Best of luck with your bets this weekend. Have a fun, safe weekend. We'll talk on Monday.